Commander Zephyx of the Galactic Coalition stood frozen on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, as the tactical display showed something impossible. The small blue world that the humans called Earth was still there, still spinning, peacefully in its orbit, while around it floated the twisted wreckage of what had been the most powerful armada in galactic history. "Sir," his tactical officer whispered, her voice trembling, "the Devastator-class dreadnoughts. All 17 of them, they're gone. The entire Krillian Death Fleet, destroyed in 47 minutes. Zephix's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a nervous habit from his homeworld of Nextra Prime. 3 months ago, when the Galactic Coalition had received humanity's application for membership, the decision had been unanimous among the Council of 12 species. Reject them. Humans were too young, too primitive, too aggressive. Their technology was centuries behind Coalition standards, and their military consisted of crude chemical rockets and metal projectiles. But then the humans had done something unprecedented. Instead of accepting the rejection with the usual disappointment shown by other young species, they had simply said, "That's unfortunate. We'll try again in a few years." The Coalition had laughed. The Krillians, masters of biological warfare and creators of the most feared fleet in known space, had laughed the loudest. Their ambassador, a grotesque creature with acidic breath and regenerating limbs, had declared that humanity would never be worthy of joining civilized space. That was when everything changed. 3 days after the rejection, human ships began appearing at the edges of Coalition space. Not the primitive vessels the Coalition had observed before, but sleek, dark constructs that seemed to bend light around them. They didn't attack, didn't threaten. They simply watched. "We call them the Silent Fleet," Captain Sarah Chun had explained during the emergency session of the Galactic Council. She had arrived unannounced, materializing in the center of the heavily guarded council chambers through what appeared to be some form of teleportation technology. They'd been waiting for this moment for quite some time. The Coalition leaders had demanded explanations. How had a human penetrated their most secure facility? What was this Silent Fleet? Why had humanity hidden such advanced technology? Captain Chun had smiled, a cold expression that made even the battle-hardened Krillian delegates step back. "You assume we were primitive because we used kinetic weapons and chemical propulsion. You never considered that perhaps we were simply being economical." The Krillian ambassador had hissed his displeasure. "Your species is barely out of its planetary cradle. We have conquered 17 star systems. Our bioships can dissolve entire moons." "Yes," Chun had replied calmly. "We know. We've been watching you for 73 years. That revelation had sent shockwaves through the Council. Humanity had been observing Coalition space since before they had even achieved faster-than-light travel. Their primitive radio telescopes had been something far more sophisticated. Their early space missions had been scouting expeditions, and their apparent technological limitations had been an elaborate facade. "Why?" Zephyx had asked, speaking for the first time. "Why hide your true capabilities?" Chun's expression had softened slightly. "Because we hoped we wouldn't need them. Humans have a saying, Commander: speak softly and carry a big stick. Prefer peace, but we prepare for war." The Krillian ambassador had laughed, a sound like acid eating through metal. "Empty threats from a species of children. Even if you possess some hidden technology, you cannot match the might of our death. Fleet!" That was when Chun had pressed a small device on her wrist. "Admiral Morrison, please show our new friends what the Silent Fleet can do." The Council Chamber's main display had flickered to life, showing the edge of human space where the Krillian Death Fleet hung in formation, 17 massive bioships, each the size of a small moon. The Coalition had watched in fascination as one of the mysterious human ships had approached the fleet. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations to come. The human vessel had simply stopped existing. Not destroyed, not damaged. It had phased out of normal space-time. Then, One by one, the Krillian bioships had begun to implode, not from external attack, but from within, as if their own biological systems were turning against them. Nanoscale quantum disruptors, Chun had explained casually as they watched the mighty Death Fleet tear itself apart. They rewrite matter at the subatomic level, very effective against biological targets. Within an hour, the most feared military force in the galaxy had been reduced to organic debris. The human ship had reappeared, completely undamaged, and had calmly returned to its position with the silent fleet. Now, as Zephyx stared at the tactical display showing the aftermath, he finally understood the true scope of humanity's deception. The radio signals they had been monitoring from Earth for decades weren't evidence of a primitive civilization struggling to reach the stars. They were cover for a species that had quietly mastered technologies the Coalition couldn't even comprehend. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth." "Put it through," Zephyx said quietly. Captain Chun's face appeared on the main screen, her expression neutral, but her eyes holding a glint of steel. "Commander Zephyx, I trust you've had time to review the tactical data from the engagement?" "Captain." "Chun," Zephyx replied, his voice carefully controlled. "The Galactic Coalition wishes to reconsider humanity's application for membership." Chun nodded slowly. "That's very kind of you, Commander. However, I'm afraid the terms have changed." "Change?" "The Coalition rejected our application for membership," Chun said simply. "So we've decided to start our own alliance. Several species have already expressed interest in joining us instead." Zephyx felt his blood chill. If humanity could destroy the Krillian Death Fleet so easily, what else were they capable of? "What are your terms?" Chun's smile returned, warmer this time, but no less terrifying. "Simple. Equal partnership, shared technology, and a promise that no member species will ever again have to face extinction alone." She paused, her eyes hardening. "And the immediate dissolution of the current Coalition leadership for crimes against developing civilizations." As Zephyx watched the human captain's transmission end, he realized that the balance of power in the galaxy had just shifted forever. Humanity hadn't just revealed their true military power, they had revealed their true nature. Not conquerors, but protectors. Not destroyers, but builders of something better. The age of the Galactic Coalition was over. The age of humanity had begun. And somewhere in the depths of space, the silent fleet continued its eternal watch, guardians of a new order that would reshape the galaxy forever.